gentlemen, welcome back to League One. Welcome back to Very Biased Opinions, and it's time for us to finally do a League One predictions. Now, Ian skipped all the videos last week. I don't understand what was wrong with him. He's an awful human being. He wouldn't record them with me. So I finally pinned him down and got him back. And William Golder, very quickly, I'm wearing this for you. Please give me some positive feedback, because again, Ian left me for a whole week. I didn't even know what to do with myself.
Outrageous character assassination, Thomas. If you'd have paid any attention to the channel, you'd have known that I did a Premier League video, but we had to do a little Crewe Oxford last-minute postponement of the League One video. But enough about that. Enough about last week. Let's look forward to this week. Do you know what else is back, Tom? Timestamps. Timestamps are down in the description, as they always are, but I'd never recommend using them because just watch the whole video. Timestamps are already there if you do want to cherry pick to certain games. No. Thomas, is there anything else that's back?
There is back. We are an Amazon affiliate, and we are back to being an Amazon affiliate. So please, to support the channel, if you're in the UK, have a click below when you're buying something. It's a small click for you, but it's a little bit of money for us, and maybe I'll start turning up every week for videos.
There's no need to look back at the week before because obviously we didn't do a video. And with all the self-promotion and hot dogging out of the way, let's lead in to round 5.
Fleetwood Town versus Hull City.
Tom, we have to start this video like we always do to say, have we underestimated Hull? I think we have.
Honestly,
they're going to do a 46 game unbeaten.
Like, I don't even know what to do anymore in predictions, like, after what happens in the Premier League, and then, like, the two teams leading League One and some of the teams under them, like, why is anyone even listening to us anymore?
I don't know, but Hull, yeah, perfect so far. 4 wins out of 4, 1-0 win over Plymouth. It was a really good goal that won them the game early. Plymouth had chances, but I thought Hull were quite comfortable in it. And come up against a Fleetwood Town side, Tom, with only 1 win and 3 defeats.
Well, Joey Barton and his band of reprobates have not yet recovered from their mauling at the hands of the Wycombe Wanderers in the playoffs. They were pretty poor.
They lost to Rochdale, Tom.
Well, yeah, I hadn't gotten to that part yet, but so they lost. They lost to Ian's favourite club, Rochdale, who now sit above them in the table. Incidentally, Rochdale also sit above Oxford, so it's a tough time right now.
The only reason I interrupted you is just because I feel we'll get to like 21 games into this season, you'll still be saying, Fleetwood clearly haven't got over that playoff defeat.
The fact you know me so well, and you know that's what I'm going to hit him over the head with all season. But they've been really poor. They've lost 3 straight. They're shipping goals, and they lost to Rochdale. And I got to be honest, Ian, I think I'm going to be backing Hull.
Yeah, I think so. I think Hull to make it 5 out of 5. I just want to say Fleetwood's keeper actually looked like he had a really stormer of a game, made some great saves, and then made a howler at the end of the game to give Rochdale the victory. Just dropped the ball right in front of Tavares, and he just tapped it in. So bit of a bad run for Fleetwood. You know this is the sort of game they'll probably win, but Hull all the way, and that's the best way to start a weekend with a Fleetwood defeat. I'll go 3-1 Hull.
I'm going 2-0 to the Hullers.
Bringing the tone down now, if it can come down even lower than Fleetwood. Swindon Town. This is AFC Wimbledon.
Swindon Town started quite well. They've won 2 of their 4 matches. They're now in 7th place. I know you're not going to speak about them at all, are you?
Well, so far what we've seen from Swindon is 2 wins at home, and they've looked like pretty good. They've pretty good wins at home, and 2 pretty bad defeats away. I don't know bad, but there's been 2 open and been picked off really away from home. So clearly the tactics are working at home, but not working so well away.
I mean, yeah, the last match obviously came against Peterborough, who were, one of the teams we expect to, by the end of the season, be quite dominant.
Though, and, just surrender it 3-1 is not great.
Yeah, no, and what I was going to say after that is that they were outpossessed, outshot, pretty much everything you could be in this match. They were outdone, except fouled. And that leads us on to the other team to talk about, Ian.
Yeah, Wimbledon lost 2-1 to Accrington Stanley, and again, similarly, they took the lead and lost 2-1. And just sloppy defending, really failing to clear shots and crosses that came in, led to their downfall in this one. It was a tight game, but those are the sort of games Wimbledon will be expecting to win, I think.
Yeah, I think Wimbledon would have wanted to win this. They ended up being outpossessed by an Accrington Stanley side that probably should never outpossess anybody.
Surprised. I don't think Wimbledon will ever outpossess a team just the way they are. They are just literally sit in their shape and wait to counter-attack. no matter who they play, home or away, it seems.
Yeah. So, Ian, how do we feel this match will end?
Well, I'm going to let you go first again because I need more time to deliberate.
Swindon are going to win this game 2-1.
Right, two sides I don't like, as you know. I don't want to watch this game. I can't imagine anybody would. It's only a matter of time before AFC Wimbledon move to become MK Dons 2. So I'm going to go for a absolute classic 0-0 draw.
The conquerors of AFC Wimbledon, Accrington Stanley, host Ian's favourite club, Rochdale.
And the conquerors of Fleetwood Town. And it's fair to say, Tom, that my favourite side are back, despite very biased opinions, picking them to go down. In fact, picking both of these sides to go down. They both produced really good victories. Rochdale really needed it. They haven't looked that great at all. So they really needed to find something to boost the confidence. And they got a nice last-minute win against Fleetwood, which was a really good result for them. And same with Accrington, which we've just talked about. They went goal down. Good turnaround for them. I thought actually Sykes, both goal scorers actually, Sykes and Butcher, they actually did look quite good when they played Oxford the other week. So there's a couple of good players there. And I expect this one to be really tight. Tight game.
Ian, I think I'm going to go first, even though it's not my turn to go first.
You go for it.
Well, I seem to have this weird thing about backing Accrington Stanley. I believe it was 3 weeks ago that I described them as the surprise package to lead the league for the next 3 months this season before collapsing. And whilst not leading the league, they are on top of giants like Fleetwood, Oxford, Charlton, Portsmouth.
They've had two wins and 2 losses, so they've been really solid so far.
It's a really solid start. So I'm going to put them down to win at home 1-0.
Yeah, I think I'm going to be boring and not match your score, but match your result, because I think Stanley will be too good at home as well. I think it will be 2-1 to Accrington. Blackpool versus Ipswich Town.
I mean, I've not been that impressed by Blackpool yet this season, if I'm being totally honest. We expected more from them, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I think there's one thing we forgot about Blackpool, and that is they are absolutely shocking away from home, and that's something they've certainly come over into this one. But they had a crazy game with Lincoln at the weekend. It's a game they really should have won. It's their own sloppiness that threw the game away. They were 1-0 up, 2-1 up. They scored in the 82nd minute and then proceeded to lose 3-2. So very, very poor end of result for them. Ipswich have started well, but they had a 1-1 draw against MK Dons. But you know, they've been really good so far, I would say.
It's something you wanted to see as well, because we thought they were going to be a lot better last season than they weren't.
Yeah, but they started well last season and it just tailed off. So they've done the same again. I'm going to stick with Blackpool. I don't know why. There's something about Blackpool. I just kind of like them. And I think Blackpool will win. I'll go for another 2-1 win to Blackpool.
I think we need to pull apart here. So I've got Ipswich hiding Blackpool 3-1. Doncaster Rovers, or Bells, versus Shrewsbury Town.
Doncaster did a Doncaster last time out, Tom. They've been in good form. To expect them to win the game, and they go and lose. Yeah, they lost 1-0 to Wigan. I mean, it was a game both sides had chances. It was a tight one. Wigan, again, another side we've underestimated, Tom. Shrewsbury looked like they were going to get a 1-0 win against Gillingham, and then absolutely threw it away late, conceding a goal to a late long throw-in. They had chances. They could have wrapped this game up quite comfortably. And then just invited the pressure on themselves, which seems to be like a very Shrewsbury thing to do. They seem to do that a lot, is like throw away leads.
I mean, I've never been that impressed by Shrewsbury. Their anti-football style of play is not even seeming to work this season. They've been really poor with 3 draws and a loss thus far. And you know what? I think my Bells are going to do it this week, which obviously means they're going to lose. But I'll go for a Donny 2-1 victory.
Yeah, it's very rare that I back Doncaster, but I do think they'll get a win at home as well. I actually think it'll be a 2-0 win for Doncaster. Portsmouth versus the MK Dons.
How do Portsmouth even exist? All they do is waste my time. That's all they do. Of all the teams, we keep talking about them. They're going to be a good side, and they're just not. I don't know what to do with them. I know they won. I know they beat Burton Albion 4-2, but I've not been impressed by them this season.
But surely, Thomas, the corner has been turned. And the march towards the League One title has begun.
Yes, 1 win out of 4 from a team that should be probably in the top 2 in this division, can easily outspend everyone.
How come you don't give them the benefit of the doubt then of the playoff?
Because I watched them last season and it was painful. You just kept thinking at some point they'd turn it on, and that's kind of what you feel like the way they started this year. They had 2 draws to begin the season, then just a loss out of nowhere. They've beaten Burton 4-2, but Burton have been poor this year.
Burton have been poor this season. I will say one thing though, check out Marcus Harness, scored a great hat-trick, but his second goal, cheeky little back heel, confused everybody into the bottom corner. A really good finish, very good improvised finish. And they'll need to carry on that good form. MK Dons have been good. They haven't got the points to back up their good form. I don't think they've played well in virtually every game this season so far, and they haven't had a win yet.
I think we talked about this in a previous video that we were impressed by the way they were playing, but obviously 2 points puts them at the bottom of the table. Yeah,
but a good. It was a good 1-1 draw against Ipswich, and they played well, and they did create some good chances. So. There's 2 ways of looking at it. It's like, what's it going to be like when they have a dip in form, when they're not picking up points when they're playing well, or is it just a matter of time before they start getting the goals that their play deserves?
Well, I think they're going to have another, what will seem like victory, but is not going to help them a huge amount. I think MK Dons and Pompey are going to draw 1-1.
I don't know why. I always just seem to have to back Portsmouth, Bratton Park. It seems like in my mind, it just seems like a no-brainer. And no matter how many times they let me down, I always have to go back to them. I think Pompey will win. I think this will be a relatively straightforward win for Pompey, but not pretty. 2-0 Portsmouth.
Plymouth Argyle versus Burton Albion.
Well, you've already talked about how poor Burton are. So have you got anything else to add on that bandwagon?
No, they're poor. They miss Nigel Clough. The poor club is hurting on the inside. But honestly, I do miss Nigel. I don't think we gave Burton a lot of respect at the beginning of the season, but we did say they'd be mediocre, and they've been not even close to that. And I don't think I'm going to be able to back them against Plymouth, if I'm being honest.
Plymouth side has been pretty good as well. They've only had 1 defeat so far, a couple of draws. There was a narrow defeat to Hull as well, to their first season. And again,
undefeated Hull City. Undefeated.
Yeah, and definitely, it's a game they had chances in and could have got something out of. They've looked good at home as well. It's always like a hell of a journey to get down to Plymouth and play. And it's hard. It seems like boring. We go over the same scores, but it's hard not to back Plymouth in this one. I'm also going to. I think Plymouth will win. I think it'll be a 2-1 win to the
Green Army.
There we go.
Maybe cut out the incredible break there where I forgot who they were.
The scared look on your face as well.
I'm going 3-0 to the Green Army. Northampton Town versus Peterborough United.
Peterborough United, Thomas, produced the result of the weekend by Swindon Town by 3-1. Went a goal down, so it looked like some of their poor form was continuing, but they'll be glad that they got Clark Harris in the goals. Scored a really nice first goal and a penalty as well to be a bit more like what we expect from Peterborough United.
Yeah, so Northampton Town lost 2-0 to Bristol Rovers. They were only down 1-0 when Martin decides to go and get himself a second yellow card. They were completely owned in this game, though. I don't think I saw a lot of positive play for them. Like you said, they were sloppy. They barely possessed the ball. And I think we were worried about Northampton coming into this year, weren't we? It feels like one of the teams did not expect to do well.
We were a little bit. I mean, this was probably the worst result and performance they've had so far. Some really poor defending in there as well. And there's going to be games where they aren't going to be great, but we still predicted them to be okay in the long run. But I think Peterborough, we both think they're going to be too strong for them in this game, don't we? What do you reckon?
Well, it's because I love Peterborough and I love the goals that they normally can score, and I think they're finally getting going here. I think they're going to win 4-0.
Yeah, I'll go slightly. I think 4 goals, but I'm not going 4-0. I think it'll be a 3-1 win for the Posh. Crewe Alexandra. This is Wigan Athletic.
No, postponed! It's off! We're not doing this! This club should not be allowed to play football. How dare they turn up with a player with COVID-19? They're trying to infect the entire country. They need to hands, face, space. They need to start sorting themselves out. Ian, I am flabbergasted by their weekend result. Flabbergasted! Right, so Crewe's match against Oxford was postponed, and somehow multiple media outlets decided to spin that as Carl Robinson being unreasonable for them turning up with a player who, Sky on a Super Sunday or whatever they were talking to me like, yeah, so Crewe have offered to play the game, and Carl Robinson said no, so well, the match is off because Oxford don't want to play. And I was like, well, because if their players give Oxford players COVID, they're not going to be able to play a game for the next 2 weeks. Like, it's not unreasonable. That's how this works, isn't it? Why did you travel with a player with COVID?
Well, I'll talk about this a bit more when we talk about Oxford, as you can imagine. It was very disappointing that the game was called off last minute. And, we don't know, obviously you don't know at this point whether this game will still go ahead. I think it will do. And but they come up against a Wigan side that are doing all right, Tom. Doing quite well for themselves. They are.
Much better than we thought. I think we had them down in like 23rd place in the league. They're doing significantly better than that already. They got 2 wins and 2 draws.
Well, I think
what was their result?
I mean, it's like we really thought the off-the-field problems would just like decimate them in the way that it really messed up like Bolton last season, and it hasn't done.
You have to give Wigan so much credit for the fact that they've gone down on the last day of the season. Their manager stayed on though, hasn't he? They've kept as many of the players as they could.
Well, yeah, and it was an accident. There was quite a lot of players of good quality that left as well.
But they've done really well to piece together a team. I suppose they're really helped when you use the Bolton example, in that they actually got to start the season and have a bit of an off season, as opposed to Bolton, who quite literally for the first half of the season were playing players that they found in a park. Wigan are having a nice start to the season. I think we're both impressed by that. And how do you think this game's going to go, Ian?
I mean, regardless of all the stuff we said about Crewe, I actually think this should be quite an entertaining game. It's like Crewe like to play quite an open style of football, and I think there'll be goals in this one. And I think that this one, I'm gonna back Crewe. Why not? Okay. I don't know why. Let's go for the big scoreline of the weekend. 3-2 to the Alex.
Nice. I'm going 2-2 draw. And now for the penultimate fixture of the weekend, Ian. Top of the table, Lincoln City, host Bristol Rovers.
Unbelievable result for Lincoln. You thought finally they were going to get their first defeat of the season, but as we talked about with the Blackpool game, they turned around that 2-1 deficit to make it a 3-2 win, helped by some shocking defending by Blackpool. But centre-back that they've signed, Lewis Montsma, what a signing he's been so far. I think in all competitions he's got about 5 goals so far already. Really nice, composed finish, like juggled the ball a few times before sticking it in the back of the net. And they look really good, and especially at home as well, they look very solid. Rovers do not travel well, so all signs point towards more points to Lincoln.
Yeah, Rovers won 2-0 against Northampton. We've already talked about them. They were sloppy in that game. I got to be honest, Ian, I can't look past Lincoln right now. We thought they were at least in the playoff places. They're doing exactly what we thought they'd do. They are obviously playing slightly less possession-based, and I've said this enough times, so I'm not going to go into it. If you want to see it, go back to any of our videos talking about Lincoln. It's the same old garbage. I've got Lincoln winning this game, and I've got them winning it comfortably 3-0.
Yeah, win for Lincoln as well for me. They seem to be winning a lot of games 2-0, so that's what I'm going to go for. 2-0 Lincoln. After 10 games of absolute inconsequence, we finally get to the main event.
Gillingham hosting Oxford United. Crewe versus Oxford was postponed this weekend, and no match happened.
That is right, Thomas. And let me just try and, for the viewers out there who maybe don't know and didn't follow it, let me just try and piece out from. This is officially from the Oxford Mail website. This is of what actually happened. So it looks like Crewe travelled down with a guy who looked like he had some form of a STD. Robinson has said, no. This is quote. No, dog. You've got to bag that shit up before you play against our boys. And the guy was like, hey, no, I ain't bagging that shit up. Socks in the bath and all that jazz. So Carl Robinson said no. Game postponed. It led to fury on the Oxford website. You've talked about how mainstream media are blaming Oxford. Oxford are blaming Crewe. Oxford fans saying Crewe should be kicked out of the league, forfeit that, forfeit this, putting players' lives at risk. I say, quite rightly, that Carl Robinson clearly didn't want to play. Oxford didn't want to play. I have to question their commitment. And surely, Tom, you have to agree with me that Crewe deserved the points.
I
don't
don't
answer that. No, I'm talking absolute rubbish. Think about it, man. This is COVID we're talking about. This is like people, Crewe and that player. I don't think they did anything purposely wrong, but it's putting people's lives at risk, Tom. There's more important things at football. How dare you even contemplate that this game should have been played? I don't know what you'll even talk about. I don't know why you're downplaying this pandemic situation. Yes, it was disappointing that we didn't get to play a game, and I suppose the only thing that was all right was I didn't get the usual anxiety and panic attacks that I get on a Saturday afternoon.
I honestly have no idea what has just happened through what you just said. Without any of your anxiety, is the left-hand side of your body still tingling?
It always is.
You should probably see a doctor about that.
Well, let's talk seriously about this one then. Obviously, Oxford are 2 weeks unbeaten now after they beat Accrington the week before and look much more like their old selves. This is a difficult game though against a Gillingham side that are very good themselves and difficult to beat. Rescued a point late against Shrewsbury. They play a style very similar to a Lincoln City, which Oxford struggled against a lot on the opening day of the season. They've got Jordan Graham, ex-Oxford's Jordan Graham, who's looking very good form for them. So I do expect this one to be a difficult match for Oxford. Last year's was 1-1 and everything points towards a draw for me in this one. But as this is very biased opinions, I cannot show any weakness and so I have to back Oxford to win. Gillingham 1, Oxford United 2.
I honestly feel like I've been on a roller coaster for all of this. Ian has said a lot of words. I'm going to agree with all of the words, but I'm going to say that Oxford have turned a corner. They're unbeaten in 2 weeks, which is fabulous for them, and that they're going to win this match away from home, 2-0.
That'll do it for week 5 in League One. Doesn't leave us with much more to say other than thank you to everybody that watches our videos. Thank you to everybody who watches any minute of any one of our videos. If you can give this video a like, it does help us out so much. And if you do like the video and you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button and hit the notify bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. Tom, do you want to have a quick just reminder of the Amazon links and then we'll call this one a day?
Look below, we're an Amazon affiliate. Click on the link if you're in the UK when you buy something, or if you want a free Audible subscription, click on the link below. It's 30 days for free. Take free stuff. It's great.
Okay, well, it's international break, so this is the only video that's coming up this week, but we'll be back after the international break with all kinds of things with Premier League and Champions League kicking back up again. Again, thank you very much, and we will see you soon.